and welcome to How Do I Wedding Special Guest Edition. I'm here today with Ty Swartz Photography, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his business and how he can help you, brides and grooms, to get the perfect photography package for your wedding day. So Ty, tell me a little bit about what you do.
Well, what I do is I tell stories. As I talk to brides, what I like to do is to find out a little bit about their history, how they met, and then I find out, how did you perceive your first meeting or first date, and how did he perceive it, because guys and girls perceive things totally different. And then once I find out a little about them, I ask about their venue and what they're doing and how they like the story to be told, because that's all photography is yes, there's tons of pictures you want to take, but the bottom line is there's a certain set of photographs that's going to tell your story from beginning to end, and that's what I focus on.
So when you meet with a bride and groom, what is the very first thing you ask them?
Well, the first thing I ask them is, do they like really bad dad jokes? But it is because you laughed, and that's really is as a photographer, when you're working with a bride and groom, they have to like your personality. And you're going to be working together not only with your engagements, you have your wedding, and then you have your after your wedding. So from that entire process, it could be up to a year that you're working with a client. But you want to develop that relationship, and that's why I say to you, if you like the bad dad jokes, after a while they'll start to understand my personality, because I'm a very hands-on photographer. I don't just show up, snap, run away, go buy some pictures. It's a very comprehensive package. It's a lifestyle, it's a story that we're telling, and if I don't know you and I don't know your groom, then it's harder to tell that story.
So you really go from beginning to end and everything in between. You capture every moment.
Oh yes.
That's really awesome.
Well, and it is, because it's photography. Everybody tends to think, well, I have a cell phone, I got all these kind of cell phone pictures, but there's a difference between being able to snap a picture on a cell phone or just take pictures. You want to be able to take one image and be able to tell a story with that one image. So then you take that one image and you put it with 20 images, so now you're writing a novel. And by the time I'm done, I want to write a book. I want to show you your story in a book, because that's where your story's going to end. I always tell photographers, if you don't come back dirty, then you didn't do your job. Because you have to get down, you have to get low, you have to get wet, you have to climb in trees. Cool photo. So
you like those kind of more fluid, candid shots rather than pose.
Yeah, well, I'm a purist photojournalist, so when it's time to pose, I use flow posing in between the ceremony and the reception. There's 68 set poses, and when we do our engagement session, I said these are the poses that we're going to use on your wedding day, but it's going to be different because you're going to be in a different outfit. I can shoot those 68 images, and that would just automatically make your wedding. But that included with the close-up shots of the tables and the dance, and it's just a very intimate, romantic, and that's what it's about. That story is about you. It's that relationship. It's that you looking into his eyes, him looking into your eyes. So it's that kind of photography. Most people just don't naturally pose. What I do, and this is part of, it's not just me educating my clients, it's teaching them where the light's at, because photography is all 100% based on light. And by the time I'm done with the engagement session, that's why I find it as most important, is because they'll, on their wedding day, they'll see that light in the window and naturally just kind of go like that. And I don't even have to tell them. I always explain, there's photographers that love the art and they got into photography because they love it. And then there's old school photographers like myself who I've been doing it for 30 years. I shot my first wedding in '86. I think I was just over 16. But I've gone through so much photography training that now I'm a certified professional. And the reason I tell people you want to find a certified professional or a master photographer, because to get certified, I have to recertify every 3 years. There's less than 1,800 of us in the United States. And there's thousands of photographers, but there's less than 1,800 who actually have gone on to get a certification, who have qualified through their imageries, qualified through their lighting. So there's a level of photography where, yeah, great, you call yourself a professional, but there's a level of certification. Okay.
Again, this was Ty Swartz, and you can see his information and his website and some of his awesome photos in the description below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on How Do I Wedding.